Hello everyone. This video is a tutorial video to quickly introduce how we can use Keyence Barcode Reader, that is a RS2000 series. That is a very typical series. Basically, in this series barcode reader, it has ISR 1000 and 2000, ISR 750 series, and ISR 700 series. ISR 2000 series is widely used. I used this barcode reader before. Generally speaking, it's quite easy to use and quite easy to set up. The other good things that is you can download manuals, sample program, Ethernet IP, and the Profinet sample program, EDS file, and GSD file very easily. Recently, I will get a project soon. That project will use this barcode reader. This gives me a chance to review this barcode reader and reinstall this new AutoID Network Navigator software. Current version, that is the 6.5 version, that is the latest one, as well as a manual. The latest manual now, that is a version 6.0 user manual. Let me quickly introduce how we can find the information for this Keyence barcode reader. So if we go to the main website of the keyence.com, and we can go to the products, and then we go to the Vision barcode reader scanner, and go to the barcode scanner here. So this page shows a main screen 1D and 2D barcode reader, for example, ISR 2000 series. You can download this catalog to find the general information of this barcode reader. The mainstream series are shown here. The barcode reader application are widely used in the industry area, especially in the automotive industry. Usually, the parts will marked or print or punch with a 2D code or 1D code on the part. So with this barcode reader, it's very easy to track the quality or track the ID number of the parts. So basically, this is the main unit of the barcode reader. There's only one component for this whole things. And this barcode reader comes with one filter. Usually they call it a polarizing filter. So typical style is like this. According to your application, maybe your Keyence representative will suggest you could use this light attachment, this dome style, or other polarizing filter. If you check detail, this polarizing filter is not the same like this polarizing filter, so totally depends on your application. The camera portion and the processing unit, they all compact in this unit. There's no additional communication module or amplifier need to be used for this barcode reader. It's quite compact. As I understand, if your code is printed on the label or printed on a paper style, not very shiny part, usually the default polarizing filter is enough. But if your code is printed on an aluminum part, sometimes that polarizing filter or barcode reader with this filter won't work perfectly. So that time maybe you will use this drone style attachment. That is just a physical things. It doesn't need a power. Just mount it on the top of this barcode reader here. Back to this website, two manuals highly recommend you read ahead. Firstly, that is a catalog, so you know the detail of your configuration for this system. Other than this, you better go to the manuals. According to your barcode reader series, for example, this ISR 2000, one thing is you better download this ISR 2000 series user manual. Take care the latest version, that is 6. As well as a communication manual. For example, in your system, that controller is a Siemens 300 or i7 1200, or that is Allen Bradley Compact Logic's Ethernet IP communication. You can download the specific communication manual for this. So other than the manual, there's also a software portion. So if we go inside the ISR 2000 series, and if from here we hit the download, and go to the software portion. So here you can download the EDS file as well as a GSD file from here. Also some sample program, for example, the i7-300 and i7-1200 sample program is very useful. The software to configure this barcode reader that named AutoID Navigator. But interesting that you cannot find the download link from here, from this barcode reader chapter. That's why I make this video, because if you need to download software, for the barcode reader, there is a specific website in the Keyence. So you find this icon here, barcodereader.com. You click this icon. So it's shifted to a specific website, especially for the barcode reader. And from here, you can download the sample code as well as the software AutoID Navigator. For example, if we go to the software, and from here, you can download that AutoID Network Navigator. So keep in mind, before you install this Navigator software, you better also download this .NET Framework 3.5. After you download that software, the latest version, that is 6.5. So in this zip file, it includes a lot of things. Drivers, EDS file, GSD file, firmware, manual, and the setup exe file. It has a richer information in here, especially for the EDS file and the GSD file. So let's set up this software, AutoID Navigator. And before you install this software, you need to install this Network Framework 3.5. And after you install this .NET Framework, you click this Install AutoID Network Navigator. Okay, so we complete the installation. So after the installation, you can find three icons here. But the main icon, the main software we will use, that is AutoID Network Navigator. Let's double click and start that. Firstly, we need to power up your barcode reader, prepare one sample code. You can find this sample code in the menu, that menu inside the box. So you can power up that barcode reader and use that sample code for a test. Firstly, we need to connect this barcode reader. So let's hit the add here, register the device. And it will ask you which way you want to contact. So basically, we will use Ethernet. And from here, keep in mind, you need to select the network. You need to select the correct network connection. So usually, if you are using the laptop, your laptop will have the cable network connection and wireless network connection. Keep in mind, select the correct network connection. And this IP address shows the current IP address for this connection. So it makes you double check the IP address you are using. And then you hit the OK. And from here, you can click this auto search, because in the first time, you might not know the IP address inside this barcode reader. It's come with the default IP. If there's an existing IP in the barcode reader, you can click this manual add. So basically, the first time we have to click this auto search. So it will search the barcode reader you are connecting. Once this software search the barcode reader, it will show the current IP address. For example, that is 192.168.100.3. You need to adjust your IP address running as the same range with this online IP address. So after this, I need to adjust to allow my system communicate with this barcode reader. I need to adjust the same range of the IP address with this barcode reader. And after this, click the OK and auto search or manual add the IP address. You can manually add the IP address of this online barcode reader. And currently, we are using the default IP, that is 100.3. So after you communicate or connect this barcode reader, and maybe the first things you wanted to change the IP address to match your project. So after you communicate with the barcode reader, you can double click this icon and shift to the network page and change the IP address you want. You can hit this start setup the wizard. So you can follow the wizard. For example, this barcode reader is communicated by the Ethernet or Profinet. We will select this command input, go to the next, and select the destination for read the data. We will use a PLC to read the data. So we will select this field network PLC. Hit the next. So select the protocol you will use, for example, Ethernet IP or Profinet, right? And then select the next. Select if you need a handshake or not. So this name, keep in mind this device name. This device name must be matched with the device name setting in the TI portal or step 7. Hit the complete. So after you change the IP address and set up this wizard, keep in mind if you go online, keep in mind hit this button, send the configuration. That send configuration means after configure everything, those configuration will send to the barcode reader. And that time barcode reader might need a restart. So you better restart that and make the system go refresh, and the system will change to the new IP address and the new protocol setting. So this is the first step. We use this AutoID Network Navigator. To connect this barcode reader, we double click, and once the IP address match, so once you double click, it will shift to green. And now that means software, this navigator is communicating with this barcode reader. You can find that send configuration icon shows a highlight. That means we are communicating with a barcode reader, and once you hit this send configuration, it will download from your software to the hardware, write the configuration to the barcode reader. Okay, so first things, I will go to the table, find one setting, because in my case, in this project, I will use that join attachment. So the default polarizing filter will be assembled. So from here, if you enable that, that means we will use this polarizing. But in my case, I will disable that because I will use that join attachment. It totally depends on your application. Other than this, you can go through those settings, maybe by some special settings. Once you set something here, keep in mind we need to hit this send configuration to download the configuration. Hit the send configuration. Okay, we send successfully. And this is the main battlefield we will work on. So firstly, we need to start the monitor. So because in my case, I only use this as a polarizing filter, so I will hit this disable or enable the light. Start. The sounds come from because now we haven't started the autofocus, so the system will show the error. It give you a beeping. So go to the setting, go to the options. We can disable this buzzer. And let's start the monitor again. Move this sample code under your barcode reader. And this time, let's hit the autofocus. The system will automatic autofocus. So you can find it shows the code result and the 94, that means the match level. Let's hit the tuning. The system will adjust the light. From here, I would like to explain a little bit. So we can find a lot of dots in this chart. So we can find dots concentrate on the 25 to 75, and all those dots above the 80. That shows a very perfect result because the more dots above the 80 and the more wide cover the brightness range, that means your system is robust according to the light, ambient light. For example, if your machine is working on a plant and the ambient light will be a little bit changed. So the more wide of this dot cover the brightness x axis. So that means even if the light change a little bit, but your matching level still above the 80. So that means code won't be too sensitive about the light. So once we hit this run, the barcode reader is running. So we can see this reading test 100%, matching level 93. So matching level basically show a clarity of your barcode reader results. And reading test 100%, that means if the code can be read correctly. The matching level could be used to verify if this dot printed perfectly or not. Basically, it can give a feedback or give an alarm to a system. For example, if the printer used a stylus to print this barcode, so it will give you a result shows your barcode was not printed perfectly. For example, I put a firm on this top, so we can find the matching level decreased. But even like that, the reading test still show 100%. So this matching level can give you a sense your printer might not running perfectly, even if the code can be read correctly. Here, keeping in mind the match level, even if it's showing in our screen, but if you are using the PLC to read the barcode reader results, by default, this matching level won't be shown, won't be transferred to the PLC. So we need to enable that. To enable this matching level results, we need to go to the operation, go to the code quality verification. And from here, by default, that matching level judgment that is a disable. We need to enable that. And keep in mind, there is one checkbox here, append matching level. That means by default, this edited data is like this. It's just showing the read data. So if we enable this append matching level, this matching level will be a part of the read data. Keep in mind this. Also, we can set up the threshold of this verification level. So other than this matching level, let's quickly review this format. So this is a format how we can modify the data. Timing is a setting for the trigger. It's triggered by a level signal or one-shot signal, as well as a delay. Reading mode. we can set everything here. Master and the slave. The same table, we can set the IP address as well as others. So hit this trigger button, it just trigger one time. Trigger is reading. So if you're using the I/O communication, you can configure this output terminals. For example, the output 1 by default is showing OK, pass or not. The second output is showing the arrow. Let's quickly review those icons. And I change the ambient light, so it shows the different background color. This matching level change, but the reading task is still okay. So I change the code now. Once you change the code, we better press this autofocus. So let's test this barcode. So you can look at this barcode, the background, that is one label. The material of this barcode, that is on a label. We can see because some dials above the 100 brightness, it will drop the matching level. That means if the ambient lights become stronger, so this system will be sensitive to the light. So we won't give a too brightness for this system. It basically give you idea. So this tuning options, let's just have a overall picture of this tuning option settings. So if you feel happy for your current setting, we can save the configuration for your current setting. We hit the save, it will save one configuration file. And you can open this file and hit the send configuration that recover your configuration to your barcode reader setting. If you need to archive the picture, we can hit this terminals. So these terminals can quickly give you a result. If you hit this live view, it will show the current pictures. For example, hit this LON, it will trigger the barcode reader, and it will show the results plus the pictures. And also we can go to this image view. So once we hit this capture, it will take a capture. The barcode reader will take a capture. So by default, the capture will only saved for the bad reading picture. So basically, it will be used for the troubleshooting if the barcode cannot be read correctly. So you can use this image view to record what happened that moment, what's going on for the barcode. And also, we can see there's a saved button. You can save this picture, allows you to archive some bad pictures, what happens that time. And saving image settings is here. So we can set by default, it only shows a bad picture, NG image. So, for example, we can select saving images, OK images. We can enable that, save to the RAM, NG images, save to RAM to allow other than the NG images. Also, you can use sent by the FTP. Configure the FTP address here so that every time when the barcode reader take a picture, the picture can send to a FTP server. So till here, that is the main idea to use this barcode reader. I would like to also discuss a little bit about this communication. From this ISR 2000 series user manual, if we go to the chapter 14 and chapter 15, Ethernet IP and Profinet. For example, if we go to the Profinet chapter, and it's basically show the main configuration steps. And the more important things, that is this memory mappings. And other than this memory maps, we also need to look at this timing chart. Usually the timing chart to trigger the camera is very important. It's quite clear. So look at this direction. This output means the PLC send a command to the barcode reader. So to trigger the barcode reader, PLC send a read request. And after this, barcode reader will give a busy signal. And once the busy signal from on to off, this falling edge, you can register the result. At that moment, read complete signal will give a feedback from this barcode reader to PLC. So you can use this read complete rising edge to register the barcode result. And keep in mind, so the PLC, once the PLC get the rising edge from the read complete, you need to give a read complete clear. This read clear will use to do two aims. One is the read complete. Once the barcode reader get this read complete clear signal, so this read complete signal from the barcode reader will go off. If you read this reading fails, so once it's a fail, if the PLC give a read complete clear here, so this read fail feedback from the barcode reader will also go off. This is a basic sequence to trigger and read the result. The best time to register the barcode result, that is read complete, rising edge. So from this memory maps, it will introduce some information, trigger, busy feedback, something. And from this page, data flow from barcode reader to PLC. So if we go to the byte area number 9, from here, it is the actual barcode data start from this byte. Before this actual data, it shows the results data size, it shows the string length in this buffer. If we scroll down, the next page shows how we can control your barcode reader. The data flow will come from the PLC to the barcode reader. For example, the read request and read complete clear we just discussed. From their website, we can find the sample code for the Allen Bradley system and the Siemens control system. We can find the sample code for the compact logics and Siemens Profinet communication. So it's very easy for you to get started. So the last things I would like to introduce, that is a web page. That is a very good dashboard overview. Open the browser. You just need to open the browser and type in the IP address is a barcode reader. And you will find this dashboard. It reads the actual images. And also it shows a trigger, successful numbers, error code. It's also showing the actual code here. And this statics data is very important, very useful. So it shows your reader account and the time for that. This is a history data. It shows when we trigger the barcode and what the result of them. And this is your device information. We can clear this statics result and start from the beginning. Also, we can download this detailed information. So that's all. This is a very brief introduction of this Keyence Barcode Reader. Basically, it's very easy to use it and won't cost you too much time on-site working. And there are two important menus. One is this catalog menu. One is user menu. You better prepare the communication menu, for example, the Ethernet IP or Profinet menu, according to your controller. That is Allen Bradley or Siemens controller. Okay, that is for today.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up. If you like to watch more videos in my channel, please subscribe. See you in next video.